Welcome, everybody. Yeah, thanks so much for coming and checking out the thing that we're doing tonight, which is listening to some multi-track files of Michael Jackson's hit songs. This is Wanna Be Startin Somethin. I've been doing Queen for the last few nights, making an effort to do a little bit of research into this one this time. Actually, you know what? I haven't. It's still kind of really... I mean, a lot of people will either go into these things underprepared, me, or well overprepared, and like you check out who played on the album, who did what, and who did what. I just got really excited when I found the files from the stuff that I'd done, and then managed to get into the bits that I was trying to find through some really helpful audio community people. So thanks to those guys for hooking me back up with some of the resources that I had lost all those years ago. For these things, but I found them and we're back and everything's going to be great now. And I found this track listing of individual... Sorry, I'm just talking shit now. I sound like just a regular YouTube guy. Fuck it. Have a look at the mix window. Boom. There you go. That's what's going on over here. It's a Logic file and it's full of all the individual instruments. So let's have a listen to some of the drum group. I might highlight that whole drum group because it's pretty... There's a suitcase track, for crying out loud. There's a suitcase track. Like, there's a suitcase track. There's a track called Suitcase. Listen to this. You wouldn't recognize the song to start with. That hi-hat. That hi-hat. That's whack. This snare, that's really tight. Claps are real. Kabasa. I wonder. Oh, let's not spoil it. I'm gonna put them down. Hey. Hey. Over. Sorry, just rearranging some stuff here. Okay, we've had enough clap. Let's get some other shit going on. Just the buses. So there's some cool sounds going on here. I'm just wondering what drum machine these come off. I know that MJ was a big user of the Linn drum, but I mean, like, you know, it wasn't exclusive. Like, Prince used that Linn drum thing till the wheels fell off the fucking thing, and then used 3 more of them until the wheels fell off. He really enjoyed the Linn drum. MJ did use it. Did he use it as extensively as Prince? I don't believe so. Stay tuned, by the way, for Prince tunes coming up in the next few weeks. Multi-tracks. Go into a little bit more. What's going on here? Here we are, percussion. Oh, what's that? There's Jaws Harp. Okay. Here we are. Have a listen to this. There's one called Suitcase. Get ready. Just some guys hitting a suitcase. This is called Suitcase 2. Let's have a look. Is that it, though? There's one hit of Suitcase hits on that. They couldn't put that on the other track. Fuck, that's good. Yeah. Sounds like a ping pong ball falling down the stairs into some pans. Rib shots. Yeah. You can come and hear it in the background of the claps. They weren't afraid to have bleed because bleed's helpful sometimes. Go. This has no pan either, this track, and all the levels are flat. So I don't know if that's how it was mixed or if that's just, you know, sort of what I've got. But hey, that's what I've got. No need to mix stuff if that sounds that good already. And there's a couple of other things in here that go along with that, and it's string bass and synth bass. So here's a string bass. That'll be, I imagine, an electric bass. Yep. Sounds like a P. And that's a Minogue. I wonder if that changes at all. No, it's the same thing over and over again. All right, we might as well play that from the start. Have a listen. We'll play these guitar tracks too, because I don't think they'll necessarily be recognisable. Let's get some claps on that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That guitar. That sounds like a synth. There's more. Where's that phantom guitar in the background coming from? Oh, it's still giving it away. That sounds like a synthesizer. Interesting. And there's some horns in the background there too. Let's so we'll hear a bit of that bass and guitar together. We'll go to another section. Why not? Same thing over and over again. It's the same thing. Okay. So we've pretty well established that that's going to be the same thing over and over again. That's totally fine. There's a guitar solo though, so we might as well isolate those two tracks and listen. Okay, yeah. You hear Michael Jackson scatting on that? Can you hear that? These are the things you don't get to hear, guys. This is why people do this. This is why nerds do this. Oh, it's not interesting. You know, what you're doing there is kind of not interesting. And it's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm doing it because I want to do it. Check it out. Michael Jackson scatting over the guitar track. Ready? Yeah. Harmonies. So Michael Jackson was infamous for recording all of his songs that he would write as beatbox tracks, as vocal tracks, overdubbed, essentially like you would use a loop station today. Michael would go in and just do he'd boom, dum, dum, boom, dum, boom, dum, and then he'd go boom, boom. I don't know why he was doing Everybody Wants to Rule the World, but he'd go he'd essentially beatbox all of his stuff into his recording software. He has tape machines, into his tape machines, and and then he would go through and have instrumentalists, players, play over the top of it. Quincy would come in every now and again and, produce it for him until it was a real full song. So he would, work with writers, of course, to like the guy who wrote Thriller, and then turn it into these songs and turn it into these big fat things. So that's a little bit of a glimpse into how Michael Jackson would write his songs. It's probably over the top of the track that he was originally put down. Let's listen. Yeah. Okay. You got that harmony? Let's pan those just for a bit of just so we can hear the difference. Interesting. I'll give them some pans still. I mean, I'm not doing a mix, but just to go and have a listen. Now, anyway, we'll get through to some horns. I think that there are some interesting horn sections in this. We'll see if we can find something with a bit more of both. Hang on, where are we going? Oh, look, there's not a whole lot. Let's just go from here. Oh, Oh, that deserves a little bit of a pan. Oh, come on, let's hear some. No, that needs to be central. I think they both need to be central. They're stereo files. They should have depth in them. Hey, Chris, thanks for jumping on and listening to some isolated Michael Jackson multi-tracks. Yeah! Get ready for this next horn bit. Yes, sweet. And cool. One more. All right. Might as well watch this. Interesting. MJ also liked to use synths instead of horns a lot of the time, but also a lot of horns from a lot of real horn players. Listen to this. Definitely a synth. That guitar, that muted guitar is definitely a synth. It has. Yeah, that's not. That's just. That's got to be a stem. What's going on? No, it's not. Interesting though. So yeah, lots of horns from horn players. Rhodes track is going to be pretty self-explanatory. That's what a Rhodes sounds like if you don't know. Fender made this, guys. An electric piano. How they worked was instead of having strings in the piano, it was like a little tuning fork, and the hammer would hit it, and it would make this noise. Or they'd vibrate against reeds in some of the cases. It's the difference between a Wurlitzer and a reed, I believe. Wurlitzer and a Rhodes. But listen to that. Beautiful, beautiful sound. Okay. And then there's also this one channel here called Scratch, which has a single wave on it. I wonder what that is. Let's find out. Oh, you're shitting me. It's a washboard, and it's one hit. 2 hits. 2 albums. If you know, you know. That's a whole track. That's a whole piece of tape, if you will. Strings section. Now, I wonder if they're real strings. Let's go to before them. Oh, they are. Gorgeous, too. Oh. Isn't that nice what you can do with some strings there? Instead of just going, bah, 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 it's got, bit of movement. Bit of actual stuff going on. All right, let's hear, there's not much to hear in the string section, really. I'm sure it's all the same. Excuse me, and a variation thereof. So here again. This is the only bit. That's a synth. Wait. Is it a synth or is it just phaser over strings? Chorus over strings, rather. Well, I think that's a synth. But there is a synth track. Oh, look, definitely different to the actual. That's definitely strings. Synth track, let's have a look at that. 100%. High chance of that being the Jupiter 8. Once it gets into that high register, that timbre. Or not, or maybe the Oberheim OBXA or something like that. I don't know what year they came out. But there's some synth tracks. Cool. So obviously, let's not just go for too long on this. I'll run you back just real quick if you're joining into some of the drum files we checked out. And then we will get to that copyright end of the one where we start putting vocals in and start getting muted by big companies. Let's have a listen to all the drums all together from the start. Hang on, let's go back. Actually, I want to get a little test I would like to run. Those hats. The Cabasso, whatever it is. Actually, okay, let's have a listen to the hats. Now, it just so happens I've got a drum machine here and on. It's the Oberheim DX. And I wonder if... I'm going to pitch my hats up. Okay, I don't think it's from the Oberheim DX. Nah. I thought maybe, but it's probably Lindrum. A lot of MJ stuff was Lindrum. Check out the snare. I'll pitch my snare down. We could get close. Nah, not even close. It's got to be Lindrum. Yep. Definitely not this. Definitely not the DX. But still, a sick machine from the era. Get around it. So we've established it's not the Oberheim DX. What a waste of time. Sorry for that. Yeah. Wait. I can hear people talking on one of these channels. Let's make these big. I'm going to find this because I reckon I love that. I love hearing people talking on these channels. Probably on the clap channel. Yeah. Hear everyone laughing? Here. Hear people talking? I mean, yeah, we're just listening to claps here, but I love that stuff. I love hearing the in-between take stuff because you can't hear that in the real version. You can't. You're not ever going to hear that. All right. So we've heard all that together. I'm going to mute the vocals here, and then we'll just have a listen to the song without the vocals just for a moment. So that we can... The Synth 2. Oh, we didn't have a look at the Synth 2. Okay, we'll have a quick look at the Synth 2. Oh, hold on. Okay, get over here. Yeah, that's some big fat. Got some of that Juno chorus. Yeah, it's all the same. That's fine. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's just mute all those vocals. And I wonder what scary vocal is. Ah, you're a vegetable. That's what that is. Okay. So here we go. It's going to recognise this. Actually, this is a good point to kind of make that excuse. So first off, guys, we're about to get into the copyright zone. This is where they start to turn the stream off if they recognise music. I'd like to take this moment to crack open one of my favourite beverages, the West Coast Cooler, because you know they're a 250ml fucking piece of gorgeous wine and lemonade. And Donny Benet loves them, so they're good enough for me. So this is the bit where we get to go and have a listen to Michael Jackson's original individual vocal takes with the music. And this is the point where normally I get shut down. So if you're in the stream, you will, if you leave the stream, you won't be able to come back in until if they open that back up. I can't always guarantee they do. Universal Media Group have been very good to me with the Queen tracks because they don't make up 25% of my video. Because the rest of it is me talking and the visual element. So that's my audio and that's my video and that's their audio. So yeah, there's copyright stuff that goes on in there. Either way, thanks for coming in and having a listen. We're going to go through these now. I'll head back to the screen and we'll start checking out some of those things. I can only play segments of it when it is in full mix. So if I get past, like, I can't, don't get frustrated with me. I know I'm chopping and I know I'm changing, but I can't play too much because I get in the shit. So just have a quick listen to this song without the vocals. Sounds. Oh, I love it. That's so good. Great. Now, let's have a listen to. There's 2 vocal tracks. We'll go and listen to some MJ individually singing on his own. Let's go straight to the start and just isolate him.
I said you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. I said you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something.
And they cut him off. Now, I believe that MJ used to use the SM7B some of the time. So interesting. Let's go to the other track to see a bit of clapping there. And also some Neumann and some Royer. There's 2 tracks. There's an alternative track. I'm not going to play that yet. I'm going to go back and have a listen in a moment. But see him singing it?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I said you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. I said you wanna be starting something, you got to be starting something. How to get over?
Yeah.
You're too low to get under.
Yeah.
You're stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder. How to get over? You're too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder.
Now, just notice how muffled MJ's voice is there. It's not as, like, crispy. Like this one here, I can probably take the air off there. That doesn't do... I don't know if you heard a difference between... Oh, Christ. I don't know if you heard a difference there between my voice, the top end dropping out, but Michael sounds a little pillowy in here. Interesting, because it translates quite well. It translates fine, but let's continue to listen to Michael Jackson.
I took my baby to the doctor with a fever, but nothing he found. By the time it's in the street, they said she had a breakdown. Someone's always trying to start my baby crying, talking, squealing, lying, saying you just want to be starting something. I said you want to be starting something.
Let's look.
You got to be starting something.
What he's producing.
I said you want to be starting something. You got to be starting something. How to get over. Too low to get under.
So there's nothing below 200 at this point. Well, a little bit of
and the pain
breath.
is thunder. How to get over. Too low to get under.
Yeah.
You're stuck in the middle.
Not a lot of top end, though. You can see
and the
that dropping
pain is
off here.
thunder.
Just kind of
You're
in that
not a
fashion
person
there.
that you're good when you're always up to no
So
good.
I can give him...
You really can't make him hate her. So your tongue
much spice.
became a
Let's give him-
razor. Someone's always lying to keep my baby crying.
Now, that, I mean, that's way too much. That's a lot of additional top end. But that now sounds more like a condenser microphone because it's just all it's very detailed. However,
treacherous, cunning, declining. You got my baby crying. I said you wanna be starting something. You got to be starting something.
Really
I said
muffly?
you wanna be starting something. You got to be starting something. How to get over.
and then
You're too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle.
Well defined.
And the pain is thunder.
take it away.
How to get over.
Leave it as it is.
You're too low to get under.
But he does sound
You're
pillowy.
stuck in the middle. And the pain is thunder.
Okay, I'm going to go over to this other... You're a vegetable. Hang on.
A vegetable.
You're a vegetable.
You're a vegetable.
And
Still
they
they
hate
hate you.
I'm going to go check out this alternative track because I don't know what that is.
You're a vegetable.
It sounds like
just a buffet.
the same thing.
You're a vegetable. I'm to eat off of you. You're a vegetable. Ow!
It sounds like the exact same take. He's just done it. I've got to pan them. Yeah, he sounds like he's done the exact same take. We will go and have a look at that in a minute, but I would love to hear these backing vocals. So listen. Oh, hold on. Here we go.
Startin something, startin something, startin something, startin something. Yeah, 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 yeah.
I love just walking somewhere and everyone goes,
Yeah, yeah.
and they're all like, "Hey man, how you doing?" I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
"You want to come out tonight?"
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's so good. Okay, let's have a listen to this lead vocal.
They said she had a breakdown. Someone's always trying to stop my baby crying. Talking, squealing, lying. Saying you just want to be starting something. So you want to be starting something. You got to be starting something. Or you want to be starting something. You got to be starting something. Hard to get over. Yeah, yeah. Too low to get under. Yeah, yeah. You're stuck in the middle. Yeah, yeah. And the pain is thunder. Yeah, yeah. Hard to get over. Yeah, yeah. Too low to get under. Yeah, yeah. You're stuck in the middle. Yeah, yeah. And the pain is thunder. Yeah, yeah. And let her pretend that you're good when you're always up to no good.
Add that crisp.
Make a
I just want to hear it.
So you kind of became a razor.
There you go.
Someone's always trying to start my baby crying.
I want to hear it on the back of the
kind of
street.
declining. You got my baby crying. Starting something.
There we go. I like a bit of that definition. I mean, I've got no top end in my
You wanna
hearing.
be starting something. You got to be starting something.
Everyone's just watching this going, "Stop doing that. It's too crispy. Starting something." Well, why don't you take your own shit and do it yourself?
Hard to get over. Yeah, yeah. Too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle. And the pain is thunder. Hard to get over. Too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle.
I'm going to put the scary vox on.
You're a vegetable. You're a vegetable. You're a vegetable. Do they hate you? You're a vegetable. Just on the face. You're a vegetable.
All right, we'll stop there real quick because I want you to check this backing track out. This "You're a Vegetable." I only noticed this in there when I started listening to this song again a few years ago through some decent headphones. Listen to this. This is weird.
You're a vegetable. You're a vegetable.
And it comes up again later, and they pan that in the mixed version.
You're a vegetable.
It's pitched too, obviously.
You're a vegetable. You're a vegetable.
It's weird. It's called Scary Vox. Yeah, I'm gonna do all three vocal takes back in now. Maybe I'll add some top end back to that that vocal take there. I don't know why it sounds so pillowy. I mean, I'm not trying to remix. I'm no Quincy. I'm not trying to remix Michael. I'm just saying, I'm just putting that in there for now for me. Okay. You can hear a little bit of that going on.
If you can't feed your baby, then don't have a baby. And don't think maybe, if you can't feed your baby, you'll be always trying to stop that job from crying, hustling, squealing, lying. Now, baby, slowly dying. I say you wanna be starting something. You got to be starting something. I say you wanna be starting something. You got to be starting something. It's too hard to get over. It's too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle. And the pain is thunder. It's too hard to get over. It's too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle. And the pain is thunder. Lift your head up high and scream out to the world. I know I am someone.
What's going on there? What's going on there, Michael? Michael's having bad takes. Is he having a bad day?
Lift your head up high.
Oh.
Sing out to the world.
Oh, that's got to be
That I am someone.
Ghost Track.
Let the truth unfurl.
Yeah.
No one can hurt you now because you know it's true.
Yeah, he's not putting anything into
I
it.
believe in me, so you believe in you.
So Michael used to get this thing he would say in the studio to somebody when he was trying to push something. He'd go, "Okay, I can do this for about," you know that, "Just leave her alone," that thing. He's like, "I got 15 minutes with me doing this, and then I'll burn the fuck out." So he would go in there and do that stuff. So maybe he's just kind of laying out this in this alternate take that says it's called alt here, lead vox alt. Maybe he's just laying out what he wanted to do in the first place and then going back through from this weaker falsetto.
Sing out to the world.
Sing out to the world. And then he goes over to the lead vocals, which he actually pumps out.
If your head up high,
Your head up
scream out to the world.
Scream out to the world.
I am someone.
He's actually putting a bit of pepper on it, whereas that alternative... I'm going to leave that muted for now, I think. Yeah, I will. I'll just... What if I turn it back on and I just turn it all the way down? How's that?
And let the truth unfurl. No one can hurt you now because you know it's true. Yes, I believe in me, so you believe in you. Help me sing it. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. 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 Sing it to the world. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Sing it out loud. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. 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 Mama say, mama sa.
So we can very clearly hear what's going on here. There's a fuckload of tracks of MJ.
Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa.
I don't think they're all him, but they probably are. I mean, like...
Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama.
Some of them sound like women. Just the timbre's different to MJ's voice. They don't all sound like him, but I mean, it very possibly could be. They're saying mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Not any shit you might have seen on TikTok about people thinking that they're going to say, I'm going to say I'm going to stop, I'm not going to stop. No, it's not saying that. It's like a chant from, I looked it up, I can't remember. It's a country in Africa that is closest related to this language that he's saying. I don't know what it means. Did Michael know? Who knows? It's just a fucking banging chant. Mama kusa, mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa.
Mama say, mama sa, mama.
It was good enough for Beyonce. It's good enough for me. Okay. I want to just isolate some synths here on their own because you know I like synths. And let's just hear everything that happens in the synth element here. I want to get that bass into. Yeah. It's all fat together with some real strings. Road. And the bass. Real bass. In the middle. I'll go back for some of that horns. Yes, great section. Yeah. Where's more synth plus horns? I think we can go a little bit forward. Okay, let's go here. That's what I want to hear. That Rhodes! No one does stabs anymore. Yeah.
You're a vegetable. You're a vegetable.
That guitar should be coming through somewhere else. With everything, come on. Yeah. Oh, man, that's so good. Oh, man. All right. We'll go back. Oh, man, I think that's pretty much all we can really do, realistically. We've heard everything. We've heard the individual drum section. For those of you just joining, let's pump that out again. Individual drum section with some suitcase tracks. I think we got... Oh, we didn't do it. We didn't actually mute them, solo them. Here we go. And we'll chuck in some bass. Actual bass, synth bass, together. Okay. Anybody want to hear that percussive scratch? Let's check this out. This is one track called Percussive Scratch. I de-isolate, you bastard. Deselect. It's whack. That's whack. And then there's a track called Suitcase with one single... Check this out. Transient. That's it. And then there's another track called Suitcase. I just love this wacky shit. These would have all been individual pieces of tape, individual tracks of tape, by the way. Okay, this is literally a suitcase. Hilarious. Claps. Real claps from real Jacksons. Probably the same Jackson. This has got to be Lynn Drum samples. Yeah. Let's hear this a go-go. Real. I reckon he's hitting that. That's hilarious. I love that noise. I don't know what it's called, but it always makes me laugh. And then we've got some MJ singing his thanks.
Billie Jean is always talking.
Billie Jean is always talking, huh?
When nobody else is talking. Telling lies and rubbing shoulders. So they call her mouth a motor. Someone's always trying. God, my baby crying. Talking, squealing, spying. Saying you just want to be starting something. I say you want to be starting something.
All right. I reckon we've been copyrighted now because I can see that the viewers have completely gone. It could also possibly be because the stream sucks. But, yeah, that's, one of those things. Yeah, okay. All right. All right, so if you are in, I don't think we've been done yet. I think it's just because the stream sucks and it's boring. But that's also fine. I'm dropping frames like a mofo too. Cool. All cool. All right, let's get back in there and we'll just finish off this little thing. I'm not quite sure exactly how long we've been going. 39 minutes. Yeah, it is a nice and short one. That's fine. Okay. Bing.
Got to be starting something. I said you wanna be starting something. You got to be starting something. It's hard to get over.
Yeah.
It's too low to get.
Oh, we got to do one thing that we always do on these streams is we got to auto-tune Michael because Michael's very good at singing, just like Mr. Mercury Fred. Michael's very good at singing, and it's also sacrilegious to do these things to these artists, especially in their memory. But I like a bit of fun, you know what I mean? So let's have a listen. Let's we're going for the shirt. We're going for the Daft Punk for the shirt. The I Believe in Life After Love.
Ooh. I said you wanna be starting something. You got to be starting something. I said you wanna be starting something. You got to be starting something. It's hard to get over. You're too low to get under.
It does nothing. The goggles. They do nothing. They do nothing because Michael Jackson is good enough at singing. and I always will rant about this. Is auto-tune is a tool just like anything else. It can be used, I think, when we hear it in One More Time, I think we hear it at its finest usage. And we hear it as an effect in other things. T-Pain didn't ruin music. Auto-tune's fine. It's dumb, yeah, but it's fine. But listen to this. Michael's that good. You can see the notes that he's pulling and that he hits them well because he can...
You're stuck in the middle, and the pain is thunder.
Take that response down.
It's hard to get over. You're too low to get under.
I'll take it off completely.
You're stuck in the middle, and the pain
you can
is
sing.
thunder.
You can see what notes he's singing, though.
I took my baby to the doctor with a fever, but nothing he found. By the time it's in the street,
Yes.
they said she had a breakdown. Someone's always trying to start my baby crying, talking, squealing, lying, saying you just want to be starting something. I said you want to be starting something.
He's good, isn't he?
You got to be starting something. I said you want to be starting something. You got to be starting something.
He's good. He's that good. Michael Jackson's really good at singing. Who would have thought? Wow, he's only been doing it since the day he was born.
Billie Jean is always talking when nobody else is talking.
These are low resolution files too.
If you can't feed your baby, then
You
don't have a baby. And don't think maybe if you can't feed your baby, you'll be always trying to stop that job
You can hear the artifacting and you can hear the note movement, obviously, because I've cranked the response down to 0 milliseconds, so it will automatically pull him to whatever note's closest. But he's on every fucking note that he hits.
I'm crying, hustling, squealing, lying. Now, baby, slowly dying. I say you wanna be starting something.
And the fact that the auto-tune doesn't really have that much of effect on his voice is a testament to how quick his vocal cords could move to the next note, because they're barely doing anything here. They're only roboticizing them by fractions of a second. So, I mean, like, just goes to show that these guys, you know, you had to be good back then. You didn't just have to have a computer. You know, you had to be good. You had to be good.
You got to be starting something. So you wanna be starting something. You got to be starting something. It's too high to get over. It's too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle. Everything is stuck up. Too high to get over. It's too low to get under.
Yeah, well, that's great. I think I'll probably wrap it up here. That's probably just about enough before I, you know, get kicked off. But yeah, thank you all very much for coming and checking it out and having a good time with me. Yeah, I have been blocked. I'll resume the video, but it would have just been from playing that bit of music at the end. So, yeah, cheers for checking it out, and I hope you enjoyed a little bit of this. I've got a few more tracks that we can have a look at later on. So stick around for those. I hope you enjoy yourself. Yeah, cool. Plenty more things to do. Everyone have a nice time. I got asked the other day why I was doing these, and I don't know. I think they're more therapy for me. I don't need to be doing them in front of you, but they're fun too, and I know that some people find it interesting. Not everybody does. A lot of people find it boring, and you swear too much, and it takes away from what you're doing. If you knew what I was trying to do, then maybe I would agree with you, but until then, everyone fuck themselves. But yeah, I think it's good to pull these apart and have a listen to them and see what these guys did at that point. I mean, this is a pretty comprehensive song, but I mean, you know, a couple of guys with violin experience and trumpet experience, you could probably do something like this. All of these instruments are now available as digital synths. No one's going to notice a difference. It's what you do with them. Couple of guitar tracks here, some horns, a bit of Rhodes, which is a plug-in, and then just some weird effects like drumming on the table or drumming on a briefcase. Like, you can do that if your song needs it. Clapping in there. Doesn't matter if you talk while you're clapping. These guys were laughing while they were clapping, but there's so much going on around them that nobody noticed until we just pulled it apart. I'm sure other people have done it before me, but you can do it. You can have a good time. These are individual mix multi-tracks. They're not stems. Stems, short for stereo mixes, which are stereo tracks of individual entire instrument mixes. So like the entire drum kit mixed down to a stereo mix stem. Stereo mixes, stems. All of the guitar tracks down to a stem. All of the bass tracks down to a stem. All the vocals, all the keys, whatever. Now also, a lot of people equate this to a tree trunk being individual tracks, multi-tracks. Your branches, or your twigs or whatever. Then you got your stems, which go to the branch, which is the main mix or whatever. If we want to look at it like a big tree, then you may. However, yeah, really cool to see some individual multi-tracks. A lot of them were stereo on very low resolution MP3s or whatever. But yeah, great. Really cool. Thanks for coming and having a listen, and try not to be starting something. Do you know what I'm saying? See ya.